everyone. I am Dr. Namrata Agrawal, an ICU specialist. Today we will be discussing about when do some patients require ventilator. There are many myths going around about the ventilator inside an ICU. So today we will discuss some things about the ventilator in detail and hope that clears out all your myths as well. What are ventilators? So ventilator is a life support which is given to a patient who are not able to breathe properly. So this is a generalized term that is being given. Ventilator is not only given for breathing support, they may be given for other conditions. So one of the most important concept that we follow in ICU is we need to divert the blood supply to the organ who requires the most recovery. So whenever a heart fails or a brain fails, or a kidney fails, then we need to divert all the major blood supply to that recovering organs. So how can we do that? So whenever we are breathing, our respiratory muscles require the blood supply to the lungs and the heart and the respiratory muscles as well. So once we put the patient on ventilator, the ventilator takes over the effort of breathing, and all that blood supply that is being diverted to respiratory muscles can now be diverted to the recovering organ. So that is the main concept of putting the patient on the ventilator. Other concept is obviously when there is poor oxygenation by the lungs, and the lungs have become weak and they are not able to carry out their basic function of giving oxygen to blood and taking out carbon dioxide from the blood. Lungs are not able to do that, then take the help of ventilator to help lung recover. Now ventilators can be of two types. They can be an invasive ventilator, they can be a non-invasive ventilator. What are invasive ventilators? That is, the tube is put inside your mouth or through your throat, and the ventilator is connected through a tubing to the tube, and that is helping the patient to breathe. Now what is non-invasive ventilator? Non-invasive means the ventilator is there, the tubing is same, the only mode of delivery is through a mask. We put a mask outside of the patient's face which helps patient to breathe. Where non-invasive ventilator will be required and invasive ventilator will be required, that is upon the discretion of the doctor. They will assess the patient and they can decide about the role of which ventilator in which condition. Now we will discuss about the common conditions where we require the ventilators. The most important condition is the respiratory failure, where respiratory failure can happen in pneumonias. There can be bacterial pneumonias, viral pneumonias, fungal pneumonias. Patient may have chronic lung conditions like asthma, COPD. They may also get some blood clot in the lungs where blood is not getting oxygenated and the lungs are not able to oxygenate the blood. Then the other conditions can be heart failure, where the heart is not able to pump blood efficiently and therefore the oxygenation is not taking in. And we need to divert all the blood supply to the recovering heart so that heart has time and has all the material needed for it to recover. Other conditions can be post-surgery patients, the patients who may have underwent some complications during surgery, or we are anticipating some complications that may happen post-surgery, like in an elderly patient or patient who were very serious pre-surgery. They may also be required to put on ventilator for some period of time. Once they start to recover from the surgery, then we may start weaning them from the ventilator and we can remove the ventilator support. Again, in cases of trauma, accidents, we may require to put patient on ventilator, and also in case of stroke or a brain bleed where the brain is not able to carry out the vital function of breathing, we may require to put patient on ventilator support. So other question that is commonly asked by the family members is, how long do we keep the patient on ventilator? So ventilator is not a prescription that we give to the patient. There is no fixed amount of time or days that we need to keep the patient. It all depends on the patient's condition and the initial reason for putting the patient on the ventilator. There is always a reason that patient needs to be put on the ventilator support. So once that reason is not there anymore, or the patient is recovering from that or disease, then we can think of removing the patient on the ventilator. So what we ICU specialists do is, whenever we are taking rounds in the morning, we always assess for the readiness of removing the patient out from the ventilator. We take rounds, we assess the patient that can we remove the patient from the ventilator today? If yes, then we do it. If no, then we ask the same question next day. So we keep on asking this question every day till we are okay to remove the patient from the ventilator. We also need to understand that some patient may not recover from the disease and we may not be able to take patient out of the ventilator support. Okay, so there is no fixed amount of time. The patient may require ventilator for some days, some may require for months as well. So recently we had a young girl, 1-year-old girl. She was a post-surgical patient and there was some complication during the surgery, and she was on ventilator support for 2 months, and we had sent her home on ventilator support after 2 months of ICU admission. So after going home, she was out of the ventilator in 5 to 10 days. Because the process of removing her from the ventilator we had already started in the ICU as well, in our hospital only, but she required ventilator for 2 to 3 hours throughout the day because her respiratory muscles were very weak. They were not able to tolerate the breathing effort for whole day. So to help her respiratory muscle relax, we were giving her ventilator support for 2 to 3 hours in a day, or sometimes overnight as well. So once she went home, she recovered very fast and we were able to take her out of the ventilator support. So it can go on for months, it can go for a year as well, until and unless we know that the patient is going to recover. There is a point of continuing the ventilator support. We know that the patient may not recover, or the outcomes are not going to be good, or the quality of life is not going to be good, then the doctors and the family members need to sit, discuss about this in detail, and need to take the next step of going towards end of life care or palliative care. Thank you.